I want to make you rock hard. That didn't come out the way I intended it. I want to help you get a rock hard core, and by that I don't mean visible abs. If you want to have visible abs, do some cardio. I swear by everything you're gonna get so much faster results than if you're gonna be doing crunches all day long. It doesn't really matter, but we are talking about a strong core. We are talking about efficiency and strength and not at all about aesthetics right now. So we're gonna go through a progression that'll help you to build a really strong core away from all the classic exercises where you do crunches until you're blue in the face, because they are not as efficient and they are not made for the way our abs work. So if you're ready, we're gonna get into the training right now. Grab yourself the pull-up bar. We're gonna fully relax in our shoulders, decompress your spine, and starting from here, we're gonna have a hollow body hold to the front. With this one, we're targeting now all our abdominals, more or less, more for the frontal ones and less for the obliques on the side. We're gonna hold this one for 20 seconds. Once we've done this one for 20 seconds, we're gonna move to the side and hold it. And with this one, we have full contraction in our obliques, this time on the right side. Hold on for 20 seconds, and then we move to the other side and statically hold for 20 seconds on the left. Why do we do long static holds? Because you have to imagine your core is holding up your body the entirety of the day. It doesn't happen a lot that you get full contractions and then relaxation in your core. What happens mostly is that it contracts to some degree over the whole course of the day. So we want to use that to train our core the way it was intended and the way it was made to be trained. Now, focusing more on our lower abdominals, we're going to start with the easiest one first, which is basically a static knee raise. We're going to hold for 20 seconds, and I'm only using 20 seconds now because most people have a little bit more of a problem with their grip strength than they would have with their abdominal strength. So until you build enough grip strength to hold on for longer, 20-second intervals are totally perfect, totally fine to hold. Now we can move on to the next level, which are static L seat hangs. I don't know, static L hangs, static L seat hangs, who cares? Hold for 20 seconds, don't forget to breathe. Now, alone, the last couple of exercises that we did are going to help you to build an insanely strong core, especially if you progressively overload and increase the amount of time that you use with every single training, even if it was just by 1 single second. Because now we're going to move into a somewhat more advanced level of exercise, because we're going to use a single hand only. And what that does is, since we don't want to be swinging left and right all the time, we need to stabilize a little bit more. So we have more inclusion in our obliques to pull up from the side here and to turn to the side here. And of course, our entire abdominals are fully engaged. Don't forget to repeat the whole process again on the other side. So turn inward. We have a little bit more flexion here, pull upward, we have a little bit more flexion here, and of course the frontal side of our abdominals are fully flexed and contracted. Now, just so we don't get bored, I have added a couple of dynamic exercises too. We're going to work our way upward from the easiest ones to the hardest ones. Now, when it comes to repetitions, I would advise you do 10 to 12 repetitions just for the beginning and try to build upwards to 20 or even 30 repetitions per exercise. Now, that sounds like a lot, especially if you're someone who trains purely for hypertrophy's sake, which is basically between 4 and 8 repetitions. Your abdominals, like I said, work the entire day. It's almost like your calves, which need a lot more repetitions than we are usually used to for a muscle to get stronger. And since we don't want to work on our abs to have bigger abs, because bigger abs don't mean shit. We want to have a stronger core. We're going to increase the amount of repetitions more and more and more. Starting with one-sided knee raises, then both sides. Knee raises, then one-sided leg raises, then both sides leg raises. It's really hard to speak while doing the exercises, but I am managing some. So now to the interesting part, your arms and your forearms are going to give up basically a lot earlier than your abdominals will for most people. Maybe you are one of those people who have been doing a lot of calisthenics or gymnastics. That's perfect. Then you can go on with those exercises. That is more than enough. For the people whose arms give up earlier than their abs, which is going to be most of you, for the rest of you, we have a couple of exercises that do not require a bar, so you can concentrate on strengthening that core until it is rock hard. Now we have two pieces of equipment here, any kind of elevation to sit on, because that is going to make the first levels of the exercises a little bit easier, and something that is high enough so when we straighten our legs we have to raise them to move from one side to another, which is what we're going to be doing. So those exercises are going to be done 4 repetitions. So this is level number 1, super easy. Left side, right side, and repeat the whole process again. Then, now it's going to get a little bit harder, so grab on and with both legs, left side and right side, left side and right side. Once again, we're going to increase the difficulty of the exercise by simply raising and holding straight. You may lean backwards a little bit. The more you lean back, the easier the exercise is going to become. The more you sit up, the harder it's going to be. And once we've done this one, we can hold for 20 to 30 seconds. Now we're going to move on to reducing the elevation. So we're going to remove the elevation, sit down on the ground, and then we're going to repeat the first couple of exercises again. You're going to notice this is a little bit harder. Left side to right side. Be sure to actively contract, to focus on the contraction in your abdominals and not just your hip flexors. In almost every single abdominal exercise, your hip flexors are going to be included because, of course, they're literally right here. And they will get stronger too, which is always a nice bonus to have. That is not a problem. The problem is when you compensate with stronger hip flexors because your abdominals are weak. And to counteract that, focus on the contraction in the musculature. And now we have both legs again. Left side, right side, left side. And now we have hold again. And you can either lean backwards to make it easier, or you can bring your hands forward to hold like so. And that is going to help you compensate just a little bit. Now to round this whole training session up, we have a single finisher that we're going to use to squeeze out the last bit of strength, especially static strength, that you have left when it comes to your abdominals. So we're going to go into a plank position with our feet elevated, which is going to make the exercise a little bit harder and is going to include a little bit more arm strength too. Keep in mind when it comes to the plank, first off, keep your arms extended. Lengthen your shoulders, pull in your pelvis, straighten your legs, and now fully flex your abdominals as much as you can. And we're going to hold for time under tension. And when I mean time under tension, because this is a finisher, I mean we're going to hold until we have nothing left to give. No more strength. And if your arms give up before your abs, what you can do is move down onto your elbows and keep it flexed. Hold until you can hold no more, and when you're totally done, now you are allowed to bring down your legs and finish the workout. And that's basically it exercise-wise. Again, just to remind you, this is not about getting a visible six-pack Of course, working your core might help a slight bit when it comes to visibility, but visibility has mostly to do with body fat, and reducing body fat, the most effective way to do that is cardio. Of course, you can do HIIT training and stuff like that where you burn a lot of calories, but if you do not go into a space where you burn more fat than you would carbs that you have saved up in your body, then you're not going to be able to see those abs. With that said, if you like the video, subscribe, because there are new videos every single day. Captain Cairo, peace out.